Podium finish for the Bay Area Dragons' latest assignment. The Hong Kong-based squad settled for third place at the East Asia Super League Champions Week earlier this month. Now let's go all out on this story with Bay Area Dragons head coach Brian Goorjian. And Coach Brian is joining us live via Zoom from Melbourne, Australia. Good morning from Manila. Good afternoon to you there, Coach. Long time no see. Coach Brian, how are you?
I'm great, man. It's good to see you, and been back about a week, and I got to say, and the whole team felt this way. You know, we were in Manila for 7 months, and if you get home, you're excited to get home, but after about a week, 4 or 5 days, you already miss it.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed that we see you again in competition.
Hopefully we do see you again. I still owe you that meal. Hold me to it, Coach. I still owe you. But at least you're back home there. I'm happy for you and for the rest of the guys being back home after what you said, 7 months here in the Philippines. And then, you know, it was a busy schedule for you guys traveling for the EASL Champions Week. Meaningful campaign there. Coach, if you're going to assess the team and the performance you guys had here, reaching the finals in the Commissioner's Cup and then finishing third. Overall, what was your assessment of the Bay Area Dragons, Coach?
Well, I mean, a tremendous first season. And to top it off with, as you see, you know, with what went on with San Miguel and talking text, the competition in Japan was up a level from the PBA. And our team was assembled for EASL Championship. That's the team that we brought to Manila.
Yeah. And
the rules were different, so we didn't get to play that team until we got to Japan. And we definitely were, I'd say, 25 points better team with Miles and Nicholson on the floor together.
For sure.
And we had a synergy that, because they trained with us and trained together for 7 months, even though they didn't play. Unlike the San Miguel and Talking Text team that brought their imports in late. And then number 3 was our Asian import, a Filipino American, Cedric Bansfield, was very, very special and something that the Philippines should be excited about, even their national program. A Pac-12 first team all-league player and virtually played as a third import weapon for us in that tournament. Averaging close to, you know, after he got settled the first game, he got over 20 points in a 20-minute package, and him and Miles together were dynamic in the backcourt.
Coach, improvements-wise, what can you say the team was able to learn while playing in the PBA? I'm sure the physicality also helped at some point. But improvement, what can you say about the things that you picked up playing here in the PBA that you were able to apply in the EASL, and also moving forward with your next campaigns with the EASL?
I'll tell you, we learn, and it's interesting, and why I promote the international competition. It's, as a coach, I learned a lot, both positive and then on the flip side of things that I believe in, and I was reinforced not to do it by playing in the Philippines. I think when we played in the Philippines, we were much more a ball control selection than Philippine style. Is much more quick shoot, push the ball, run. We were much more side to side before we attacked and ball patience. And I learned by being in the Philippines that my belief in that I stuck with. Things that we picked up from the competition were we were much better in the tournament defensively by playing against the quickness and physicality that we were up against in the Philippines. The Asian players were not used to that kind of speed, and we did a much better job in the tournament on that aspect, which we got killed in the PBA. The gap which to play a player, getting back on defense, getting our defense set, and then that physicality that Ginebra, San Miguel, Talking Text bring to the table that our kids weren't used to. So the rebounding count in that tournament we held our own, and we really struggled through the early part of the PBA. So I'm real appreciative for that competition, was instrumental in the success in the tournament. And again, I'm really pleased with, we beat Okinawa in Okinawa, and we beat Talking X on their home court, Okinawa. Those are the two grand finalists from last year. So those were two huge wins.
Yeah.
And the defense was, we held both teams under 90, which was huge for us. And we won the rebound count in both of those. And I credit that from being in the PBA.
How tough was it really, Coach? Because Filipino fans seem to be really in awe with the quality of the games in the EASL. That was really a really tough competition with teams from Korea, with our very own Renza Bando playing for the team that actually won the whole tournament. And then you have Carl Tamayo's team, the Ryukyu Golden Kings, and then you guys. It was really a tough competition, and even our teams, as you mentioned, TNT and San Miguel, really struggled in that tournament with their imports also coming in late. But at the same time, the level of play over there was just really tough. Can you paint us a picture, Coach Brian, of how different? Because it was really tough. It was just a week, but the games were just intense, and it was really top class level of basketball in Asia.
It was. I mean, these are the Korean team and the Japanese. When you compare it to what we played in the PBA, there was much more concern for the ball. So the game in the Philippines is looser. It's up and down, quick shots, athleticism, running. This was, if you made a mistake, you paid the price. It was hard to get the ball back. They go through process, and it's like how the Japanese are. They just execute and move that ball sometimes 20 seconds in that 24-second clock. So if you come down the floor, jack up a three, it's not like PBA. The other team comes down, jacks up a three. They come down. Now you got to play 20 seconds of defense to get the ball back. And the size of these guys, they're 6'10", 6'9", 270, 265, and there's two of them. So I just thought the size, the execution was something. And again, I think it was really good for talking to you. Live in your own cocoon, and the PBA was really good for us to change environments from what they're used to. We got an opportunity to come in that and grow and change and add to what we do. And then we got a third situation where, the PBA, those teams went over there. They're going to have to change their approach to this tournament. Again, to have any chance. Their import combination was less than I thought. Talking Tex and San Miguel were less than they are in the PBA. And it's no disrespect to their imports. They just had no synergy together, no understanding of playing with each other and how to blend in with the Filipino players.
Yeah.
And it took Filipino players' passion and love and that thing that makes them special away. They didn't have it in the tournament. And they're going to have a good look at the PBA, how the rules are on how you assemble a team and how you play there in order to be good in the EASL. And that's what you want. What's going to become now, players are going to become better, the competition's going to become better, and the coaching is going to become better. Because they don't want what happened to them another time. And for us, the same. We were under the bar. We were competitive. But to win it, we're going to have to take another step.
Were you surprised the way they played over there? Because San Miguel and TNT are two of the powerhouses here in the PBA. And, of course, fans cannot help but be disappointed of how our teams from the PBA played over there, being blown out in games. But were you surprised, or did you sort of feel that was coming because of all the different factors, some players missing because of injuries, and at the same time, the level of play is really different? I mean, the way that it's played is different over there. As you said, it's not like you're fast-paced, and at the same time, the imports also, miss some time to blend and develop chemistry with the locals.
I was, to be truthful, I love competition and respect the competition. And I thought it was a poor display of who they are and what our league is. And I thought there was a number of reasons. We talked about the imports, and that was huge. We talked about the refereeing. The refereeing there is completely different, and it was hard for them to adjust. And that was something that we went through in going through the PBA. So we were more prepared for that than they were. And then I just thought the third thing that really surprised me was I just have such a respect for the Filipino passion and love of the game and the energy and whatever took place going in there. I kept saying to all my friends, I had a lot of coaches there, a lot of international people. I said, not even close to what they are or what the competition is. They looked worn out. They looked tired, and they looked emotionally beaten early in it. And again, lessons learned. It's kind of like they just rolled in and roll out the balls and let's have a little fun. It was not a tournament like that. And again, they're much better than what we saw. And I keep referring to the fact, if I would have taken the Bay Area Dragons that you saw there, we would have got belted. The team, you can imagine Miles and Nicholson playing together. That's a nightmare. And then you add an Asian import to us. Again, we're 30 points there. Now you look at Talk and Text and you look at San Miguel, they were less than they were in the PBA, talent-wise and emotionally.
Coach, if we're going to look at your team, was there still any surprises for you that that impressed you? Because here you weren't able to field Nicholson and Miles Powell together because of the rules, as you mentioned. Then we're going to also talk about Filipino-American Cedric Barfield, who was supposed to join the PBA draft last year, and he also played for a strong group that went to Dubai. And then I know you were visiting practices. You got to see him there. Let's talk about any players that still surprise you after working with them here in the PBA from your team. Was it Andrew Nicholson, Miles Powell, maybe Hayden Blankley, Glenn Yang, Kobe Lam, any of your players that still, wow, I didn't know how come you didn't show that in the PBA when we were playing in Manila? Was there still any player that surprised you when you went to the EASL, the way they played there?
It wasn't like you said it. Whoa! It was a thing that developed over time. I just thought that the development of Hayden Blankley, Glenn Yang, and Kobe was huge during the PBA. The player that came in the door and that the player that left for Japan, through that 7-game series when we walked out of there, some of the plays they were making and the jobs that they were doing, I knew they'd gone up a level. In this competition, Glenn was so much better playing with that third guy that could score. So all he had to do was facilitate and defend, and that's in his bag. And he had a better tournament there because we were a better team. And Hayden Blankley, just athletically, jumping, running, blocking shots. A lot of international people were talking to me about him and his development from a Division II player that wasn't playing much in America. And then, the other one, our Song, we call him Song. number
Song Wei,
6'9", long kid, had to guard and import the whole game. And again, he was very soft in the PBA and got manhandled by Ginebra. And I think that we really went at him that month coming into the tournament is you're going to be guard and import, and you were a weak spot for us. And he did a great job guarding and import in those 2 games. And then the difference between being on the podium and not was the young Filipino kid, Cedric Barfield, who not only coached just as a, it was nice to have a Filipino on your team playing against those guys. He's got that passion that, talks a little bit, points, chest bumps, comes to the bench and gives you a high five.
Awesome.
He's got a big smile in the morning, got his hat on, got his jeans down, got a little got a little stuff to him, that our team doesn't really have a lot of that. So he brought a little swagger to us, and we were looking at the BJ kid that played for Tab Baldwin. He was training with us and got hurt.
Okay.
And Cedric. I just really enjoyed having Filipinos on my team. And then taking him to the event and he was the one that is probably going to get the most out of it. From this, something really good is going to happen for him moving forward.
That's awesome. Wow, I didn't know that. You were eyeing on BJ Andrade, and you got Cedric Barefield, 26 years old, 6'2". That kid has a bright future. I can't wait to actually see him play. If it's here in the Philippines or wherever, that kid's really talented. Coach, what's next for the Bay Area Dragons? And big question for all the Filipino fans that enjoy the way you played and you raised the bar and the level of competition here in the PBA. When will we next see you here back in Manila? So what's next for Bay Area, and when will we next see Brian Goorjian walking around BGC, coaching again at the Big Dome or at the Philippine Arena here in Manila?
Well, I know this, that our management I saw Willie there, Commissioner Willie there, and all the management there, and they were in deep discussions. And the conversations with me and our management was just how much everyone loved. I tell you 1,000 times that how much we loved it and how the competition was good for us.
Yeah.
But I did emphasize that playing in a country where basketball is number one, and we did start to get a following, and we got out in the community, worked with some of the underprivileged kids, got a relationships with the other players and the coaches, and it would be really disappointed if this didn't continue to grow. So anytime they tap me and ask me anything, I'm always, it's a must. I think there could be some exciting, even more, that we may be based somewhere and play home and away. I've heard that within the league, but I know that they're pushing strong for this to happen again. And I'll hope to see you all in Manila with the World Cup. I'm so excited about the Philippines team. I think there's in the coaching staff. I'm excited about what they're putting together, and the fact that it's in Manila. And if we can get through that, I've got a pretty good team here in Australia, and there's nothing I'd like to do more than get back to that stadium with 50,000 Filipinos in. And I feel like if we're not playing Philippines, everyone won't be yelling against us this time. I'll get a little bit of love. So I'm hoping for that, Andre.
Coach, always a pleasure talking to you. One of the best coaches and human beings I have talked to. Very smart. I always love picking your brain. I enjoy our conversations. I still owe you that meal. Thank you. Enjoy your time with the family and your time back home in Australia. I'll be speaking to you again soon. Thank you, Coach. Happy weekend to you, man. Thank you, Coach.
Care,
Stay
brother.
safe. That was Bay Area Dragons head coach Brian Goorjian.